Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. The first thing I'm gonna say is hello Holly Bun. Have we seen her in a while? No, we haven't. I've recently been having my hair in a bun just because in the UK we've had like a heat wave. We've literally had the hottest day of the year in September, which is very crazy, I'm not gonna lie. And I am also sat in this like very thick and pretty big green jumper, but I honestly adore this colour, and as I said in the video where I was wearing it recently, I was sent it whilst away. I'm also longing for winter this year. Like, I've literally never said I'm so excited for cold weather. I'm like channeling winter vibes. To anyone who really doesn't want that, I'm so sorry. But watch me start complaining as soon as it's too cold. That's just me, and I'm sorry, I'm British. I talk about the weather and I complain about it. But anyway, I am filming, as you can tell from the title of this video, a little update Q&A, just because I've been back from traveling and I thought an update, a little catch up was overdue. We're gonna cover a lot of ground hopefully today and just have a chit chat. Like, I haven't spoken to you guys on like a personal level for a while. I did film a vlog the other day, so just being back at home, I'll link that on the screen up here and down below. I don't know whether to have the sleeves down or up. Down or up, down. Injury update is the first question. For the majority of this year, I have not been running because of injuries, which is so frustrating. It is getting better, so that is good news. But the bad news is that I still have an injury. I mentioned in my vlog that I referred to that it's not really my knee. It is like my knee, but it's basically the bony bit just below my knee. But injuries, they do always teach me to be stoic and to just push through, to enjoy cross training. So I have really been getting into cycling recently in London, which I've really been enjoying. It's obviously never going to be the same as running for me personally because I love that the most, and this injury does put me in a very sticky situation for Berlin Marathon, which I know we'll come on to. But yeah, I am still out of running, and you'll probably know that if you follow me on Strava. This injury is literally, I'm pretty sure, because I wasn't strength training alongside running a very high mileage every week. Often with an injury, it's not like that particular position in your body, like in my case my knee or just below it. It's often something else that is weak, so you have to start thinking about your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings, like what might be overcompensating. So yeah, lack of strength training. I'm obviously bringing in more strength now. I have my gym membership back, thank goodness. So yeah, what running watch do you use? I have it on right now. This is the Coros watch. I'm actually, oh my god, I'm so excited, you guys. I found out today, and it made my day, that I'm actually getting sent the Coros Pace 3, which is the newest one. It literally came out so recently. So yeah, this is the Coros Pace 2, but they have a new one. That's not a sponsored mention at all, but the Coros Pace 2, very good watch, I would recommend. Along those lines, how long have you guys been together? So Angelo and I have been together now for just over 9 months, which is honestly crazy that time has gone so fast. And like, we realized the other day that a third of our relationship has been spent in Asia. This question is quite interesting, but like, did you and Angelo talk about marriage, and when do you think is a good time to talk about it? So we have spoken about it like a couple of times, not many times, because it's not like our #1 priority. And we both kind of feel the same way about it, but we did approach some of these like big conversations, these big topics. It was very random how it was just brought up. When did we talk about it? It was before Asia, so it would have been like, oh, 2 or 3 months into our relationship. So I don't know if that's early or not. As you guys know, this is my first ever relationship. I'm not like going off anything. We spoke about it very informally. There are things that, you know, I don't personally like about it, but then on the other hand, there are some like good things about it. And we just spoke about all of these, and as I said, we came to the same conclusion that, you know, marriage is not a priority for us. If one day it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, because we don't ever want to, that's fine. But yeah, when do you think is a good time to talk about it? Like, I don't know, anytime, I guess, when it feels right. But it's never gonna be like on one of your first dates, I wouldn't think, unless it is like a priority for someone. But personally, it's not for me, and it's neither for Angelo. So we're gonna move into Asia traveling territory. So somebody asked, which family member did you miss the most whilst away? That's such a hard question, because like, first of all, I love all of my family so much. I would firstly say Milka, which is kind of not a surprise, but like, if I had to pick an actual human, not a cat, I would probably have to say mom, and this has always been the case. As I said, it's not to say that like I love mom the most, but whenever I've experienced homesickness in the past, which I have done and I have spoken about on my channel, like going to uni in Australia and stuff, when I felt homesick, I felt homesick because I've missed mum the most. I don't know, I feel like mum just has always grounded me. You know, mum and I can sometimes like clash because we're so similar, but at the same time, I just feel like this really kind of strong mother-daughter bond, and I feel like I have to say mum for that reason. But I would say that homesickness for me has also been just like missing home, like physically, the house that I live in, and also my area sort of thing. Now, the big question about Asia is, why didn't you enjoy Asia? And, you know, was there a specific reason you cut your Southeast Asia trip short? Now, with the first question, we didn't not enjoy it. We had a really fun time. I think we enjoyed Thailand the most, but you know, there were just certain things, small things about the trip that we were kind of finding difficult, not between us, but like just living in a place so different to your own. Can you hear that drilling? Is someone drilling? Why is someone drilling? Come on, Dad, stop drilling. I've literally lost my train of thought. That's so annoying. As I said in the coming home video, like, Southeast Asia is a very different place to the UK and Europe, which is where I've grown up. So it's a culture shock, and obviously we went out there to slow travel, not to like be tourists and do tours and different activities every single day. We were trying to live there, so we were slow traveling, you know, working remotely. I don't think... Are you actually having a laugh? I don't think, well, you definitely don't need to spend a month in Cambodia unless you do want to live there. But like, go for a week, 10 days if you're being a tourist and you're backpacking, that's all you need. I personally liked Cambodia. I didn't like it as much as Thailand. And then we went to Vietnam for like a week before we came home. We did one day just sit down, and it was, you know, maybe at the back of both of our minds, and we were like, you know, what if we did go home early? Like, do we want to spend the next month here when, you know, we could be at home and we could spend some of our time during summer in the UK? And once we kind of got that idea in our head, we couldn't like shift it out, and we just, from that point onwards, tunnel visioned into finding flights to come home. It's obviously hard to explain, and if you're not in our shoes, then it's kind of also difficult to maybe understand. But like, I know deep down that that was the right decision for us. Honestly, that does not take anything away from our trip. We had the best time. We learned so much about ourselves, and obviously living together was amazing. And then related to this idea, do you see yourself doing any long traveling trips again, like Australia, somebody has said? Obviously, I would love to maybe try it again, maybe try somewhere in Europe or like America, Canada, Australia. For such a long time, I have had my eyes set on Southeast Asia, you know, living there because I love Thailand so much. But traveling to a place and seeing it as a tourist versus living somewhere, they're two completely different things, and that is what I realized in, you know, Thailand and Southeast Asia this year. But you know, maybe Southeast Asia for us is a place that we'd prefer to go to as backpackers sort of thing. I did, I guess, feel homesick. I mean, I didn't mention that without me realizing towards the end. Some of my kind of like signs of homesickness, for example, like OCD, it was kind of playing out, and to me that was a sign that I was a bit homesick and maybe stressed, and not like entirely calm. That's not the right word, but you know what I mean, like comfortable living out there. This is a big question. Any plans for buying a house? No plans right now. Interesting question, this one. Have you noticed any adverse effects since starting birth control? So if you guys have watched my 2 contraception videos, you'll know I have the Gynafix, so it's a copper coil, and I will link those videos on the screen as well. I think it's this side, I'm pretty sure, and down below. But I would say no. The only thing that I did mention in the Gynafix video specifically was the prolonging of my period, and that I will sometimes spot or bleed in between my periods. And going back to the actual period itself, like it starts off kind of light, and then I have the period, and then it like tails off. It's kind of annoying having like this bleeding before the actual period. It's like, can you just bleed? Don't give me this drizzle. The only other thing, when I first had it fitted, I had like back pain, which I've never experienced before, lower back pain, but I don't get that anymore. I think that was just because, you know, it was obviously embedding in my uterus wall. Okay, we're running out of storage. 1 second. The battery is also about to die. But do you plan to move in with your boyfriend? And when are you and Angela planning on moving in together? I feel like this was the most common question. The answer is not like right now. Right now, we're just very open-minded. Angela lives in like London basically, and then I live just outside of London, southeast basically of the UK or England. I feel like what Angela and I have done has been really like insightful because we've lived together, not permanently but like temporarily whilst traveling. Living with someone for the first time, you'll maybe realize stuff about them. You kind of like become more accustomed to their habits, what they do, how they actually live, and yeah, we worked so well together, and we love living with each other. So this question is back to do with my injury and like Berlin Marathon, which is literally next week. Will Angela run the marathon alone now that you're injured? So the big question is, you know, am I still doing Berlin? And at this point, I think I've made the decision that I'm not going to be running it, because, you know, if we throw back to my first ever time running London in 2021, I ran it with my Achilles injury, and I did say after that I would never run a marathon again being injured. If I do run this marathon, it will put me out of running, you know, for even longer, which I don't want. And running that marathon in 2021 with an injury was so painful. Even if it does miraculously get better like by next week, I'm not going to be in a position to break my time of 3 hours 25 minutes, which I did last year. You know, I'd want to keep chipping away time, but I just don't feel like I would run my best. I would maybe do myself a disservice. And you know, I could say, and I have thought about, you know, just running this marathon for fun given my situation, but you know, running a marathon having just recovered from an injury, if, you know, as I said, I suddenly do get better, I just don't think that would be wise at all, because I could pick up another injury. I will keep you guys updated obviously on my stories and in my vlogs, but yeah, I don't think I'll be running unless it literally gets better tomorrow and I can run confidently knowing that I'm not gonna feel it and I'm not gonna, you know, make anything worse. But I think if that does happen, this miracle, I will not be running it for a time. I will literally be running it to enjoy the race. And you know, I have thought about the good things about that, like I won't be under pressure. I will actually be able to enjoy it instead of having the pressure of running a good time. I don't know, your ego does come into play a bit, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll be running a slower marathon and I don't want that. But yeah, I think at this point I'm accepting the fact that I'm gonna be spectatoring. Kipchoge's obviously running Berlin this year, but I'm just also like so happy to be watching Angelo. I'm gonna make him a sign. I'm gonna be running around Berlin trying to see him and spot him, so I think that will be really fun either way. Obviously FOMO will come into play a little bit, but it is what it is. So this next question along the cross-training lines is literally, does cross-training actually work? So this is like the first time I've been actually properly cross-training. When I've had injuries in the past, I've literally just focused on strength training because my injury has prevented me from like walking sometimes, cycling, ellipticaling, everything like that. So I've just been doing what I can either at home or in the gym. But this time I've been doing long distance cycling. Like I did my longest cycle the other day of 56 kilometers, which was really fun. I did that in London, and then I've been doing like big elliptical sessions in the gym. So I have been, you know, trying to keep up my cardiovascular fitness because I thought that, you know, I might be running Berlin still, so I just wanted to keep things ticking over. But then, as I said, I've also been getting back into strength. I've heard that swimming doesn't really translate to running, you know, in terms of like the muscles that you use, but it obviously does help with like cardiovascular fitness and endurance. I think ellipticaling, so being on the cross trainer, is most akin to running in terms of like the actual movement that you're doing, whereas cycling again will just like help with your cardiovascular endurance. But yeah, I don't actually know. I mean, we could have put that to test had my injury gone away and I could be running Berlin, but I just still don't think my fitness would have been there to have broken like 3 hours 25, which is what I got last year. Somebody asked a really funny question. So they said, how do you sit in a saddle for 3 hours? As in comfort wise, I feel bruised. My cycles recently have been like close to 3 hours, sometimes over 3 hours. So I haven't still said to Emily, so you guys know first, and I am planning on telling her at some point. At some point is key. I borrowed Emily's big squishy padded seat, so you can get like padded cycling shorts, which I don't have because I'm not a cyclist, and the seat that I use most often is Angelo's, so it's not like a female seat. I think they have male and female seats or something, but like bought this like really fat saddle seat to put over the actual seat that she has because she did some cycling like a year or so, or like a few years ago actually, and she bought that and I thought I would use it, make use of it, and it does make a big difference, let me tell you that. The first time I was cycling, or the first few times I was cycling without it, it was actually horrendous, but now this makes it a lot easier and more enjoyable. But yeah, I don't know, like I feel like I've just numbed that area having sat in the bike seat now for quite a long time. You definitely do bruise that area. Do you think you will ever go back to education? Again, I'm never gonna say never, but right now, no is my answer to that question. Why the shifting content? I miss your old style of videos. So this is quite a big question as well, something that I thought I would address. If you have watched a few of my last videos, you'll notice that I have been like changing up the format slightly and introducing some biology, some science. Now I will still be vlogging, as I said in my most recent vlog. I do still want to bring you guys along my life, but I also wanted to start introducing videos where I could actually utilize, you know, what I know from my degrees and just talk about these topics that I am really interested in and bring them to you guys in a way that's fun and interesting and educational in a way. Obviously, I'm still learning and I'm learning how best to present these ideas. I just wanted to get creative in a slightly different way so that I can learn, you guys can learn. I just literally wanted to try something new. So as I said, I'm not completely neglecting like my old style videos. I just want to try something new alongside. The biggest shout out to those of you guys who are, you know, engaging with the videos and the feedback. Obviously, as I said, the most important thing is that I'm still learning how best to present these ideas and how I want to create the videos, and you never know until you try these things. The last question I thought was quite wholesome. So how does it feel to be in a relationship for the first time? There are so many things I could say to this, but I feel like the one big thing that I would say is that before I was in this relationship, you know, for the first ever time, I'd heard of like, you know, the honeymoon phase or whatever, and like it's just this first few months where you're getting to know each other and it's like amazing, sunshines and rainbows. But I feel like for me, these past 9 months have all been amazing and there's not been a difference. Like I haven't seen this honeymoon phase. Every time we see each other, I always get butterflies in my stomach. I'm just so happy to see him. I always get cheek ache because we're smiling. I'm laughing so much. It just makes me so happy thinking about it. Obviously, please don't compare yourself to me, my relationship at all. If you are single in a relationship or whatever, like this is just me, and yeah, I'm just sharing my little bits on the internet. But yeah, I hope these questions have updated you guys on some things. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave those down below because I can always do other Q&As. If you do have any like particular topic requests for videos, kind of along the lines of like my new style content, definitely comment down below or like leave some more feedback for me. Like I would definitely love to hear that, because whilst I want to make certain videos, I want to know what you want as well. So it's a two-way thing and I'm learning. So yeah, I hope you guys are well, whatever you are doing, wherever you are in the world. Subscribe if you are new and you want to stick around, hit the bell so you know when I upload, and as always, I'll speak to you very soon in another video. Bye guys. It's quite hot. Shouldn't be in a jumper in this weather. Please camera, wake up. But yeah, the holly bun, I know that's kind of a shock. I've literally been living in vest top shorts, my travel trousers for like 3 months, and I just don't want to wear any of that. I want to wear tracksuit bottoms, trousers, jumpers. I just want winter so badly. Okay. Oh my god, Dad, stop drilling. Put it down and don't do any more. Yep, that's good. Okay, hello.